Hi, welcome to Hive Virtual Edition. My name is Lori. Today we're going to take a look at quilling. Quilling is an age-old art form that has kept pace with modern times and has applications for many crafting activities today. Quilling uses small strips of paper and needle-like tools to twirl paper. Before we get started with our quilling, I'd like to show you a project made by one of our patrons. This project is by an expert quiller, and each and every plate or plant is made by twirling paper using quilling paper and quilling needles. So our project won't be anything like this, but this is what an expert project could look like. This is the slotted quilling needle. This is a straight quilling needle. This is the cork template pad. Quilling strips come in a variety of widths and lengths. These can all be purchased from your local craft store. I'm going to use one of the thicker pieces of quilling paper to demonstrate the slotted needle. We'll slide the piece of quilling paper into the slotted end of the slotted needle. Gently turn the needle, being careful to keep the paper from rolling off the tip. When your rolling is complete, hold the top of the quilling paper carefully so that it doesn't unravel when you take it off. Next, you'll use a fine stick to put a dab of glue on the inside of the end of the strip of paper and hold it for a couple of seconds until it's secure. I will demonstrate how to use the straight needle, but I will admit that I have not mastered the technique, but I'll tell you what we should be able to do. It's recommended that you tear the paper because a cut edge is trickier to work with. You wet your fingertips so that the tip of the paper is damp. Begin to wrap it around the edge of the needle, but don't spin your needle. You have to wrap it around manually the first couple of times, and once you have that secured, you should be able to start to spin. This technique should give you a tighter center to the circle. It is definitely easier to slide off the tool. You will probably see, even though I'm not very good at this technique yet, it does have a tighter circle in the middle than either of the two that I did with the slotted tool. I put it down on my cork board, hold it with one hand and pull with the other. I can tighten it up a bit when I'm done, but this time it starts out the same as a tight circle, but I'm going to hold it between my fingertips and release the pressure a little bit and let it expand. This will give me a looser circle that I can then shape into several different quilling shapes. So I've now released it so it's quite a bit looser. I will put my dab of glue on the end now. You can see now that I have several different quilled papers. This is the looser quilled circle, and here are 3 tighter quilled circles. I'm going to make one more loose circle, and then we'll see how to turn those into other shapes. So here's another loose circle that I made, and I'll show you how to make an off-center loose circle. It's as simple as putting your pin in the center of your circle, taking it to the edge of your template, securing it with the pin, and pulling to bring the center to the edge, and then putting some glue on this edge so that the center stays over at the side. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue in between some of these pieces. Then when I pull it and hold for a little while, it will stay off-centered. There's our off-center circle. We're now going to make a teardrop out of this loose circle. It's as simple as taking one side of your circle and pinching the edge there's our teardrop shape. To make a heart out of this loose circle, we will pinch the tip, and we usually use the end that we had glued because it tends to be a sharper end. Pinch that. We now have the teardrop that I already showed you. And now I'm going to take the middle of the wide end, and using my straight needle, I'm going to push in tightly on the center, fold up a bit.
This is the project I'd like to try to make now.
And when I release it, I want to soften the top edges here a bit, so I'm just going to press down on them. Let's see. There's our heart. This loose circle, I'm now going to make a marquee shape. Quite simply, you take one end, and again, I'm going to use the end that I've glued to pinch. Once that edge is pinched, go to the other edge and pinch. Whatever your preference is, the glue will keep it, if you want it to be a centered marquee or an off-center. Completely your choice based on where you apply the glue.
We have a wide range of books at the library that demonstrate how to make the various different shapes in great detail.
This is the project I'd like to try. I'm starting with yellow cardstock. I have a piece of blue paper that I have torn along the edge. I will glue this down. Next, the lighter blue.
Using the torn paper, I think, adds depth to the project.
Dip them in using tweezers and put them exactly where I want them on the page. Determined that rather than dipping the quilling into the glue pot, I did lose a whole sail doing that. It just fell right into the puddle. I've now been putting it in my hand and dabbing the glue on the back of it instead.
To make the mast, I simply curled a piece of quilling paper around the straight needle and placed it on. This particular project is a card. However, many people do quilling and put it in a shadow box, in a frame. There are many decorative uses for quilling.